Hello, how are you doing? My name is Otto and welcome to the channel. On this video, I want to compare these two pocket cameras. This one is the DJI Pocket 2 and this one is the new Feiju Pocket 2, which was just released a few days ago. So let's start with some of the basic stuff. Build quality is very good on both devices. The DJI Pocket 2 has a plastic body, but it doesn't feel cheap whatsoever. The Feiju Pocket 2 has a body made of aluminum and the back of the body is magnetic. Both of them have a 1/4 inch thread hole for tripods at the bottom, and they are both very small cameras and lightweight as well. They both have a joystick to move the camera around, and with the buttons you can recenter the camera, flip it around, or lock the gimbal. These two cameras have a touch screen. The Feiju Pocket 2 has a bigger one, which is more convenient when you're shooting videos and you need to see what's on the frame. Changing and selecting the different settings on the screen is easy, but in my opinion, the screen on the DJI Pocket 2 is more responsive. Many systems are almost the same, but I found that changing gimbal modes is easier on the DJI camera, besides the fact that there is a physical button to change them as well. The Feiju Pocket 2 will support microSD cards up to 512GB and the DJI Pocket 2 up to 256GB. Battery life seems to be better on the Feiju Pocket 2. The Feiju camera can shoot for about 220 minutes at 1080p versus 140 minutes on the DJI, also at 1080p. Shooting at 4K will reduce that time for about half an hour. They can be charged with a power bank when you're using them. If the DJI Pocket 2 is on a tripod, it cannot be charged because the USB-C port is also underneath. The Feiju Pocket 2 can be used as a webcam if you connect it to your computer, and it's really easy to set up. And the DJI Pocket 2 cannot be used as a webcam. So I went outside to test the microphones, so these are the results. Alright, so this is a microphone test, Pocket 2 versus Pocket 2. Alright, so this is a microphone test, Pocket 2 versus Pocket 2. I feel that DJI has a better internal microphone. It sounds clear and loud. You can use an external microphone with these two devices. With DJI, you need to buy the Creator Combo version, which has the Do-It-All handle. But if you buy the basic version, you can still get the Do-It-All handle for about $100. With the Feiju Pocket 2, you need to buy a USB-C adapter to be able to connect an external microphone. According to their customer service, this will only cost $15. I know that not everyone is looking to buy ND filters, but if you are, ND filters are more accessible for DJI. DJI sells them on their website, and there are other brands that you can find that manufacture good quality ND filters like the brand Freewell. To use the app, Feiju Pocket can connect to the smartphone without any cables via Wi-Fi. Using the app on the smartphone is very helpful because it's going to let you control the camera, and it's also going to serve as a big monitor, so you don't have to look at the small screen on the camera. Now, the basic version of the DJI Pocket camera can only be connected to the phone with the supplied connectors. So the phone has to be attached like this unless you get something like an extension cable. If you get the Creator Combo or the Do-It-All handle, you can then connect the camera to the smartphone without any plugs. The DJI Pocket 2 has a bigger camera sensor, and I feel that at this point in time, Feiju Tech should have gone with that same size. But they didn't. This bigger sensor on the DJI camera helps their Pocket 2 to have better image quality. And that translates to sharper videos and a slightly better low light performance. Now, just to be fair and clear, if you take out any of these two devices out in the dark, you are going to get a lot of noise on your videos. All of this doesn't mean that the camera on the Feiju Pocket 2 is not good, as this is the same camera sensor that the original DJI Pocket has, and people still buy it. Feiju Tech did a great job improving their video color science, and the video quality is good enough, especially if your content is going to be watched on a smartphone. The Feiju Pocket 2 has a wider field of view than the DJI Pocket 2. and there is a setting that allows you to change the field of view to super wide, wide, and narrow. The wide camera seems to be the sweet spot with less distortion and less crop. It also has a built-in beauty function which helps to soften the skin. The DJI Pocket 2 has a similar function, but it only works at 1080p. And on the other hand, I don't think you can turn it off on the Feiju Pocket 2, and I think you should be able to do so. These two Pocket devices have tracking mode. DJI has better tracking overall and it feels more consistent. Feiju tracking is not as reliable. I notice it tends to work better when there are small adjustments like when you're vlogging, and maybe that's the intention. The good part is that if the subject is lost, the Feiju Pocket 2 will keep tracking the subject if it comes back to the frame. As far as video resolution, DJI can shoot at 4K, 2.7K, and 1080p up to 60 frames per second, and Feiju Pocket 2 can shoot 4K and 2.7K up to 60 frames per second and 1080p up to 120 frames per second. Most of the camera modes available, such as slow motion, time lapses, and hyperlapses, are going to be similar on these two Pocket devices. By the way, I want to show you these side-by-side hyperlapses, and please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Stabilization is very good on both devices, especially if you are walking at a regular speed. I would say that running changes everything, but let's take a quick look. It's not hard to recommend the Feiju Pocket 2, and compared to other pocket cameras in the market, this one is an excellent choice. If you already have the DJI Pocket 2, I don't think that the Feiju Pocket 2 will feel like an upgrade. If you don't have a pocket camera, I'm hoping that this video was helpful for you to make a better decision. But one last aspect that you need to consider is the current retail price. This is my personal opinion, but I was expecting the Feiju Pocket 2 to have a lower price than the DJI Pocket 2, or sell it at the same price. That's fine, but at least give us the same camera sensor that the DJI Pocket 2 has. Current price for the DJI Pocket 2 is $349, and the Feiju Pocket 2 is selling at $359. I know that many of you will wait until the price drops, but in the meantime, give this video a like, have an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next video. Ciao!